tell me again, Mommy.
You and me against the world. Sometimes it feels like you and me against the world. When all the others turn their backs and walk away.
Hello everyone, I'm making another doll outfit, and these are going to be some pajamas. And so it's from a panel that I got from fabric.com, and you can go to fabric.com, and I don't know if they'll have any more of these left or not. They didn't have too many when I ordered them, but it's, what is the name of it? It's Let's Play Dolls, I think is the name of the company that manufactures the panels. And the panels are going to have fabric that you can cut out, so you don't need a paper pattern at all. And for instance, you're going to have all these pieces right here that you can cut out. This is for the pajama top. And then you've got the pieces you can cut out for the pajama bottom. And the instructions are on the fabric for each piece. And then I've got the instructions for the bedroom slippers. Now, I'm doing things a little different because I don't like plain. So I like to fix my pattern pieces up a little bit when I'm making stuff. But the first thing that they tell you to do is they want you to get the strap. Now each fabric piece is going to be labeled what it is. And what you do is you write it on the back of each piece like this. Mine's faded out a little bit because I've used my erasable marker. But anyhow, you write on the back of each piece what it is. Like this says slipper exterior, which means it's going to be on the top. And then it says S9, and that's the pattern piece right there, is S9. You know, like paper patterns, they have 1, 2, 3, and so forth. And then this piece will say S8, slipper lining. I don't know if you can see that or not. So you write on the back of each piece of your fabrics. That way, when you get to the instructions, you won't get all mixed up, because like for the first part of the slippers, it says using strap pieces S5 and S6. Well, that's where that comes in handy, because this is one of the straps, which is either S5 or S6. I'm not sure which one, because I've already made one slipper. And I dolled it up a little bit, you know, added some ribbon to it with a snap and a little button right here, right there. And then I added some lace, and I added some bias tape. Oh yeah, and then I added the rubber sole bottom. But you don't have to do all this. If you don't have this stuff, you don't have to. You can just follow strictly by the pattern instructions. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It told me to fold this in half lengthwise. So what you do is you fold it in half lengthwise like this. Like that, and then you iron it, and then you open it up, and then you bring each side over to the middle where the fold line is, like that. And then you take one end and you fold it over 1/4 inch like this, and then what you're going to do is you're going to top stitch, and top stitch means you're just going to sew down this side, over, this side, and over. That's all top stitch is. Okay, and then it says to match each slipper top exterior S1 and S2. Okay, well I already did one slipper, so I have wait a minute, slipper exterior. Oh, exterior, I'm sorry. Here's the exterior right here. And this is going to be on the top of the shoe, or slipper. Here's the lining to go to it. I also cut this out. And I wanted it to look more like a slipper. I didn't want cotton fabric as a slipper, so I cut some fleece out the same size as the exterior. Now, being as this is not going to be shown, I'm just going to throw this away. All right. So now what we do is we put them. Is it face to face? Right sides together. All right, so we do it face to face. So we put this on top of here. So we do it like this. Make sure all the ends. I always start at the bottom where the square corners are. That's where I like to start. Makes things a whole lot easier. That way I don't have to figure out where the middle is what I was trying to think of. Let me get my camera so you can see me a little bit better. There we go. Alright, and then I can see that it's all perfect. Okay, and so what we do now, I think we insert the strap. Where did I put that strap? Here it is. We insert the strap, okay? So we want, this is going to be the top piece here. So we want the strap to be showing like this. So we're going to put the strap in where the toes go. About 2 inches down. All right, let me get my measuring tape. So we want to measure 2 inches down from the top of the top of this slipper, and that is, need to go a little bit more. Yep, need to go a little bit more. All right. Put my measuring tape at the beginning here. We're going to go. Right there is where we want to be. Okay, get it lined up. Let me remeasure to make sure that I didn't move it. Nope. All right, so now we're going to put this on top of it. I'm going to pin it. Okay, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Then we're supposed to top stitch. And we do it on the inside. We do it on the inside of the top of the slipper. Okay, you go up a couple of stitches, then you back stitch. And go take your time, especially when you're going around the corners and the curves. I'm going to do the other side. It said do the inside, but I'm going to do the other side too. I always get my supplies when I see them go on sale, even though I may not need it at that moment, because I never know what I'm going to be in the mood to make when or whatever, or you know what I might want to use for embellishments and all that. So I always where's my scissors? There they are. I always get embellishments, ribbons, and that kind of thing when they go on sale, because I know that one day I'm going to get some use out of them. Fabric, I'm the same way with fabric, like to make doll clothes. Well, that's flipping up. Anyhow, to make doll clothes, I get the remnants. So whenever I go into a fabric store, Walmart or Joann's or Hancock's or even Hobby Lobby, I check the remnant section. When I go into Michael's, they don't have remnants, but they have packages of fabric, and I will go in there and check and see if they have any on clearance. Sometimes they do, but not all the time. Okay, so we did this. Insert the strap, stitch the curve, I did that. Alright, so with the exterior sides together, we want to sew the back seam of the slipper together. Alrighty, so we want to do face to face. We want to do the top side with the top side, like this. Because when you get it sewn, you're going to turn it out like this. And this is your top side right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that sewn. I'm going to try to make this video a quick one. I don't like making long videos. Alright. And sorry my arm is in the way. I'm still trying to figure out the best place to put this camera so you can see the sewing machine. I need to work on my embroidery machine. For some reason it keeps jamming up on me when I want to do embroidery. So I need to figure out what's going on with it. Okay, now the next set of instructions is it tells you where you just stitched the back pieces together to iron this up. You can always do a finger press because it's so small, you really don't need to iron it. That way it's laying flat. Alright, then match each slipper bottom exterior with a lining, wrong sides together. Okay, so beings, I want to make this the side that you're going to see. I'm going to layer it like this. Okay, there's my bottom, and there's the inside. You know what, I really don't need this other piece of fabric because I am using the slipper, what do they call it? The slip fabric, whatever it's called. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, oh, it looks like I'm out of bobbin thread. Hold on a second, let's see. Yep, but I've got another spool already made. Let me get it. Now let's see where it's at. Here it is. Always make sure you have an extra spool of thread ready just in case you run out. And for this pattern, you don't need a whole lot of supplies. You need elastic, then coordinating thread, a snap. If you want to embellish with ribbon, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. You know, you make your doll clothes the way that you want them to look. You know, and if you're a beginner sewer, don't worry about all the extras. But it says here that you need matching thread, a 1/2 inch elastic, about 12 inches, snaps or any other closures you want to use, and if you want to accent with buttons. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew these two pieces together. I'm going to try to keep my arm out of the way. And like I said before, just go slow when you're going around the curves. This is the type of project, if you're a beginner sewer, this is the type of project that is easy to sew. So, you know, because, and then you don't have to go out and get a paper pattern and all that other stuff. This stuff is kind of hard to sew on because it's rubbery. So that's why I'm having to put a little extra pressure while I'm sewing. But if you just use the two cotton fabrics, then you know it's going to be a breeze for you to sew them together. But because I'm using the rubbers, a little difficult. Okay, I'm cutting my threads. Oh, I put the slipper on crooked. All right, let me stop here. I'm going to take this apart and redo it, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and sewed the two pieces together, and as an extra precaution, I went ahead and did a zigzag around the edges, as you can see on this side, and I went over twice to make sure that I got it good. All right, so the next step is okay, we need to pin these two pieces together. Let's see, what does it say? Okay, all right, so I'm gonna have it like that. Here's the foot. So I'm gonna have it like this. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. Let me see here. Wait a minute. I have it like this, and I need to do it like this. All right. You're going to do the wrong sides together on this part. So you're going to attach the top of the slipper, and you want the wrong side of the top of the slipper to go onto the bottom of this slipper where I've got the rubber sole. All right, so go ahead and pin it. Make sure you have your seam out so that way it lays flat on the bottom of the slipper. My first slipper didn't come out that well. I may have to do it over again. This one's going to come out a little bit better, I believe. Wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm wrong. Right side to wrong side. Because when you flip it over, then it's going to come like that. Alright, so you want to do the wrong side to the wrong side to the bottom of the slipper. Alright. Because when you open it up and you want to turn it right side out, you want it to flip over to look like that, because that's the bottom of the inside of this shoe. All right. And I don't have it even. And if you're not sure about where your center is, you can just fold the sole and the top of the slipper in half, and that'll give you your center. All right, let's go ahead and pin this together. What I'm doing now is I'm making sure that all the edges are smooth and not crinkled up. Make sure that they're on the edge of the bottom of that the edges meet together, the bottom of the slipper and the top of the slipper. So make sure that all the edges meet up. Overlapping, so we need to move it. All right, I think I got it. Okay, you get through pinning. That's what it's supposed to look like. Alright, now, you have to do this now. Wait a minute. Okay. Well, I need to clean some of my straight pins. Alright, so you need to, this flap, you need to make sure it's on the inside. Like that. So you can sew this, because when you flip it to the right side, it's going to look like that. Alright, let's go ahead and get this sewn together. And go slow. Like I've said before, there's no big hurry. So take your time. Don't. Whatever sewing project you're doing, whoops, I forgot to put on straight stitch. Whatever sewing project you're doing, don't rush it. I never rush my projects. I always take my time. I'm always thinking about what I'm doing. You only want it to go around about 1/4 inch from the sew. Take your pins out as you go. Let me see if I can do something about keeping my arm out of your way. My straight pins over here for one thing. Alright, and when you lift up your presser foot, always make sure your needle is down in the down position. And with your needle down and the presser foot up on curves and all that. Alright, we're on the back of the shoe, and what you want to do is, let me see if I can zoom in so you can see. Alright, you see my finger is pushing the top of the slipper down. That's what you need to do, so that way you get around these edges. And make sure that you get the seams underneath the press foot. Sorry, I'm right-handed. I'm trying to do everything with my left hand, but I'm right-handed, so. Alright. Almost there. Get your threads out of the way. Okay. Alright, when you're done, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, now I'm going to sew down this part right here. Now I'm liking this much better. I think I may take the other slipper apart and redo it. Because the other slipper, I didn't do it like this. I kind of messed up on it, but you make something for the first time, you know, you make mistakes sometimes, so, and I made some mistakes. Okay, now we can flip this slipper right side out. Well, let me go ahead and cut this piece off here. Alrighty, and you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a zigzag on this right here. See, that's all you do for zigzag. And like always, take your time. And you want to get the right side of the needle to go over the edge. It's almost like serging. This is what you're doing. I have a serging machine, and I also have a serging attachment. Now I'm going to go over this again. There you go. Okay, now we can right side out. Here you go. There's your slipper. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you get all your loose threads first. Okay, the next thing you want to do is, if you want to put some ribbon around here, that's fine, which I'm going to do before I go any further. And let's see. Oh, there they are. Okay, and then I'm just going to go around this slipper with my ribbon, just like that. Oh, and then fold under the end that you're starting with. And make sure that you get the top of the slipper to lay down flat so you can get the ribbon on. Right on the edge is what you want to do. That is if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to put a ribbon on. My ribbon came out. Hold on. And this is just a regular satin ribbon. It's about maybe half inch wide. I'd have to measure it to see. I'm not sure. Right. Again, take your time. Okay, I gotta lift up and turn so the needle is down. All I'm doing is a straight stitch. A little difficult to do because it's so tiny. You know, the slipper's so tiny. I made slippers for myself and they turned out really cute. I used some scraps that I had. I had some satin scraps and I used that and it turned out really pretty. I'm gonna make me another pair. Oops, the ribbon came off. back on. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this, and I'll pick up where I left. That's why I said take your time, because this can get pretty tedious. Oh, my thread came out. Sorry that my arm's in the way, but I'm trying to get this ribbon on. Okay, now I cut my ribbon. Where's my, there they are. The ribbon came off again. Gotta get it back up there. I'm on the front of the slipper, and the ribbon keeps wanting to come off. Right to the end of this. Alright, now I'm going to lift my presser foot up so I can get this ribbon tucked under. It came out, but that's okay, because I'm going to be putting a flower button there anyhow, or star, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let me cut my threads. Don't ever let anyone use your sewing scissors, because it'll mess them up and your fabric will get all messed up. Alright, I'm going to turn the slipper right side out again. Work your fingers, get the toes out. That's not a good job, but like I said, it's really difficult to do tiny spaces. But anyhow, that's the ribbon on. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to put my other ribbon through for the closure. I had everything right here next to me. Where did I put that? I had it right here. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, this is the ribbon that I'm going to be using. So, what you do is you try it on your doll's foot. Let's see, bring it over this way so you can see. Let me scooch it back a little bit, maybe you can see. Alright, so I'm going to take this shoe off of her that I already have on, put this slipper on and try it on. That way I can see how much ribbon I'm going to need. Now, they don't give instructions on how to do the closure part, so this is the way I did the other one. Alright, first of all, I took the inside of the shoe and I ran the ribbon through. And I need a safety pin. Safety pin. I had a whole bunch of them on here the other day. What happened to them? Where are my safety pins at? I had a bunch of safety pins on my pin cushion. All my pins fell the other day. They're all over the floor. I don't know where my safety pin is. Oh well. Try to get this through here. You may have to fold it in half to get it through. Well, it depends on what size ribbon you're using. I'm using a 1-inch ribbon. I'm trying to get it through a small hoop. So I'm having to fold it in half. I had my safety pin. I don't know what happened to it. It was on my pin cushion yesterday. Trying to get it through to the other side of this hoop. Let me see if I can get a straight pin to help bring it through. I'm too lazy to get up to go to the other side of the room to get my another safety pin. It looks like I'm going to have to. Yep. Alright. I'll be right back. Let me get a safety pin. Okay. Got the ribbon through. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to put it on her foot, slip her on her foot. Let's see, let me zoom you out a little bit. Maybe you'll be able to see better. Okay, so I've got the ribbon and the hoop. And what I want to do is I want to have the snap closure on this side of her foot. So I'm going to bring the ribbon around like this. And it's going to be like a ballerina shoe, sort of. This is one of those ribbons I got on clearance. You usually get what's left. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this other piece around to go up like this. Okay, so what I did was I took the right side of her foot, the ribbon, okay, and I wrapped it around like this. Then I took the left side of the ribbon and I brought it around. So that way I can see exactly where it's going to go. The snap is going to go right here. So I know I can cut off this bit right here. So I'm going to cut this off right there. I always leave myself a little extra because I like to fold over. It makes the ribbon look nicer. Alright, so now we're going to put the snap on. Get this ribbon off my lap because I'm through with it for right now. Alright, here's snap. And the size snaps that I'm using is the Dritz size 3.0. And that's what they look like right there. That's the size that I'm using. They're the real small ones. If you've never put a snap-on before, you have to do it by hand, of course. Get some thread.